Good morning, everybody. Different point of view today. This is eventually going to be my barn for animals. A little bit different. It was a greenhouse that we took down and set up. So kind of got this beautiful sunrise this morning. If you hear pigs, they're right over there. It's a beautiful day. There's a lot of spraying happening, unfortunately, but that's okay. I'm still grateful to be out here, grateful for these animals that are getting me out when it's in the teens. It's cold, but it's supposed to warm up today, and I'm kind of excited, not excited about that, because that means I got to come out and do chores later today. But I'm grateful it's going to be warm enough to take care of these chores that need to get done in the warmer weather. So I was unable to do a video yesterday, and that's okay. Life kept me a little bit busy, and it was a really good day. I got to spend it with my husband, and just I loved being with him, and came home and had a nice evening with the kiddos, and got to talk to my friend this morning. We hadn't been able to talk for a couple days, which is nice because you realize how much you appreciate someone and something when you have that space and that gap sometimes too. And I always have good inspiration when I'm talking to friends that I feel like you blowing off their energy, and it makes me sad because I know there's people that aren't there yet and don't have that yet, because that's where I was at for quite a while, and I know those times are so hard, and you're just like, what's going on? Gosh, keep digging deeper. It will. Your people are coming too, but you're going to be ready for them then. And sometimes you've got to let go of people. There's all these different lessons that could come into play. Maybe you need to let go of somebody to let somebody else in. I had that happen back in August. It was really hard. I really love this person, but I had to let them go because they just were not good for me. They couldn't accept me for who I was, and I felt very pushed and pressured to be who I was not. I think a big telling sign is if you don't want somebody to come to your house, then you should probably not be around them. And if you start to feel that way, like you can jive with somebody and jam with them, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what the heck? That's, maybe you needed them for a moment to see what something could be. And I was able to witness how awesome a friendship could be. But I also had to find myself worthy enough to let them go because of that pushing. Husband's driving by. And I was going to a mentor, and I'm like, I need to talk to you, but it wasn't lining up. And I already knew the answer in my gut, that I needed to let this person go, but I didn't want to face it. And I let them go. And then I talked to my mentor friend about it, and she's like, you're gonna know that feeling initially, like right away, and you're gonna know when something's not right. And because you've done this now, you're gonna know in the future, and you're gonna know it's okay to let it go. And I kid you not, like within a week or two, I had this amazing new friend come in, and this friend has loved me so unconditionally. We worked on a lot of projects together, and I was really worried when I started to have that feeling again that I can't do this anymore. It's not right for me. It's not resonating. I was like, "Ugh, I'm going to lose my friend." And even though I know this lesson, I've been there, done that. I have the t-shirt. My mom likes to say that. I still kind of sat with it a bit longer than I should. And one day I just finally had the courage, or my gut was just saying, say it. And she's like, that's okay. I kind of already knew. And I was like, are we still friends? And she's like, what? Why wouldn't we be? Like, how could I not be friends with you, because you're doing what's right for you? And that's how it should be, but not everybody's there. So if you're letting go and losing something, maybe it won't come back into your life as immediately as it did for me, but maybe it will. As soon as I let go and release that, it was amazing. So this is not where I had thought this conversation was going to go at all, and I guess that's about listening and following to your gut too. It's okay to let things go. It's okay to let them die. It's okay for that release, because quite frequently that allows new things to come in that are more energetically matched for us now in this moment. And as you are growing and you're changing, things aren't going to work for you anymore. They're not. And again, that's okay. I think you're able to sometimes still be around people that aren't as an energetic match all the time. Maybe like family or friends you've had a long time, but sometimes even those people kind of go by the wayside. It just depends. There's no, the most interesting and wonderful thing is there are no absolutes. So you might, I'm able to maintain relationships with my family, even though they're not always with me energetically, and that's okay. And I'm in the point now where I really try hard. I'm not perfect, because I don't think anybody can be, but I really try not to judge where somebody else is at. And that's really hard to do. It's hard to get there. There's times that I was not good at that at all. Why can't I get them to think like me? And when you start to let go of that, I think it makes it easier to be around people. But then there's also that level of, if you're being disrespected and they're pushing you to change, then you really need to evaluate that relationship. If somebody came up to me today and said, you need to go to church every Sunday, I would say, well, ironically I do, but it's outside. I feel like I go to church every day. I love being with Source, God, nature, every day. I feel like I get to commune, and that's very special to me. But if you told me I had to go into a building and sing and sit and kneel, no, I can't do that anymore for anybody. So there's a balance, but there are times to release, and you have to be constantly evaluating that. And as I've talked about previously, why do you think the way you do? there's so much programming that we all go through, and the closer and bigger we start digging deeply into ourselves, you know why you believe what you believe, or if you should disallow it, believe something new. Trying to think of what's the bottom line here, because one of my good friends would be like, don't say it in a well, I'll think of it later and I'll be mad at myself, but whatever. You know, what's the bottom line? The bottom line is you've got to be willing to let people go, because you're digging deeper into you and finding who you are and what you are. And there's some people that are not going to tolerate that. They're not going to like that. And it could be for a variety of reasons. And you have to evaluate if you can let them go or not. And what will happen and what space you'll open up into if you let them go and when you let them go. We don't like change, but when we're going with the flow, change happens. And you can either go, oh my God, this is an awful ride. Or you can go, well, show me what you got. And either way, you're on the ride. you know. So be ready to release if that's what you're being asked to do. Be ready to dig deeper if that's what you're being asked to do. Start to know what's worth compromising on or not. Because you chose to be here for a reason. You chose certain levels of growth or not to grow for a reason, and you'd hate to miss any lessons. So I have zero regrets despite all the hard times, those like dark night of the soul moments where I felt so alone. I wish, and on some level I think I knew how amazing it was going to be, and I'm so grateful now that I went through those moments. So maybe the end message is, if you're in a dark moment, you're the light too. Keep going. Be ready to release and let go what you need to, and be willing to dig deeper to find yourself. Yeah, I like that. All right, everybody, it's cold. I'm going inside. Love you all. Have a great day.